have everything you like, but I'm here to bring you light. Take a seat, join the ride. Elephant if it goes down tonight. We'll bring the party right to you. If you wanna laugh, hear good news. Bring your friends, family too. Looking for my fit is what I do. Looking for my fit, looking for my fit, yeah. Looking for my fit, looking for my fit, yeah. Looking for my fit, looking for my fit, yeah. Looking for my fit, looking for my fit, yeah.
I have a whole theme song, y'all. I am so excited about that, y'all. Welcome to the Looking for My Fit podcast. My name is Meek, and I am so happy to have you all here. Y'all, I know y'all heard it. Is that not the best? Before I even get into anything, let me say this. My homegirl Lou, follow her Instagram. I am Lou Taylor. She hooked that theme song up. She's so talented. And I think now, Lou, correct me if I'm wrong. Lou's not here. I just hope Lou's listening. She is accepting that she has a really great gift. So when I was talking about expanding and wanting to create a show for Looking for My Fit and do the things that I've dreamed of doing, I think my new mantra is chasing dreams and having fun. And I'm excited about that. But when I thought about it, I was like, I want a theme song. I listen to so many different podcasts, and most podcasts that I listen to do have some type of theme song, and I wanted my own. And the first person that I thought of when I thought about creating one was Lou. So I sent Lou a voice memo, and Lou called me back. We had a great conversation. I gave her an idea of, the direction that I wanted to go with Looking for My Fit. And I'm not about to just completely flip the script. Last week's episode said two things can be true. And that's the same for me. I'm multifaceted, y'all. I can be a little bit motivational. I give myself that, but I'm also fun and I like to do things. And I just have had this dream of being on TV since I was young. No lie. When people initially would ask me, what do you want to do? I was like, I wanted to be a sports broadcaster. I just knew I wanted to do something dealing with media, and I let life sidetrack me. And the other part of it was I got scared, and I don't even know if I was necessarily scared of failure. I think I was more scared of the work, if I'm being real. I think I saw where I had to start and just wondered if I could build up to being what I wanted to be. And that was me as a teenager. And that's why I think you need a little bit more time before you go to college and you're expected to pick a major. You don't know who you are. We should go to college about 35. 35 is a good age. I think you've lived enough life. You have a pretty good idea of the things you like and don't like, and then you can go and pursue. But guess what? I don't have to, look back and say, man, nah, I'm creating. I think I said it on the last episode. I'm just not waiting for... I didn't. I think I said this on the TV show as I got ready to start it. Either way, you're getting it again. I don't want to wait for people to give me opportunities anymore. I want to create them for myself. And I hope that, as things grow, that I'll be able to create opportunities for other people too. I think it can be super simple to sit and, say people keep looking over me and nobody sees, my value. And so now the question is, do you see your value? And if you do, what can you do to create the opportunities that you at one point were hoping someone would give to you? And that's what I'm doing. I'm creating my own opportunity. I'm like, I want a show. Why can't I do a show? I can do a show. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So let's talk about this episode. What a week I've had, y'all. Let me not just say because compared to what, some other people around me went through, my portion was easy. I think some of this, so let's back up again. I know y'all, I'm a little all over the place, but y'all love me. I know y'all hanging here with me anyway. So last week I did talk about opening and Looking for My Fit community, and I was pumped up and ready to go. And guess what? I'm still opening it. If you're listening to this now, you should go and click the link in the show notes or go click the link in my Instagram profile, because the community is open. The community is ready. Okay. Just wanted to throw that out there. So let me tell you a quick story. And I'm just going to give you kind of like the major pieces, and then the other um details I'm going to share in the community group. I think um I put an intro video in the community. It was just very transparent and real about, we'll see how it goes, and we'll all grow together, and the page will grow, and you'll be like, hey, I was there from day one. I remember when she came in here and didn't even know what she wanted this to look like, and now look at it, y'all. But I do think more of the story of what I'm talking about I will share. So let's do a quick look back at last week. Thursday night, I was reading a book. I am currently reading a book called Woman Evolve by Sarah Jakes Roberts. And she is the daughter of T.D. Jakes. So if you know who T.D. Jakes is, then that is his daughter. It's a really great book that I'm enjoying, and it is focusing on, pushing past your fears to evolve into the woman you have become. And she focuses on Eve, and her take on Eve is just so... It's a great book. You should go read it. So anyway, that was Thursday night. I had been reading it for a couple of days. Friday morning, I wake up. And you know, sometimes people will say, this just fell in my spirit. And I will hear people, and like, I absolutely believe them. But I think this is the first time something truly like fell in my spirit. I woke up Friday, and in my head, no lie, laid in the bed, woke up, eyes open, laid there for a second. And I thought to myself, what would happen if you gave 100% to what it is that you're trying to do? That was my thought. What if? The reality of the situation is, for myself. Now, I'm not talking about like if I'm working at a job or doing something for somebody else. I've absolutely given people, 100% in things that I probably shouldn't have given 100% to. But then when it came to me, I do enough to get by, and I've, worked to break past that. But what I realize is I've never, for myself, truly given 100%. Also, if you all hear something in the background, nobody needs to come into this space until it's time for me to record. So if you hear something in the back, it's one of my children, I guarantee you. And so anyway, that's what I had on my mind. So I get up that morning, read my, did my reading with the Bible, and then I decided to look through my text messages. Now, people who are, for real in the circle, know I am not great when it comes to returning text messages. And it's not that I don't care. I really don't know what happens, y'all. I end up with a backlog of text messages. And I'm sure the people, when I message them back and say, I'm so sorry, I'm just seeing this, they're like, but for real, I'm just seeing it. It's just, sometimes you have to pick and choose your priorities. And I'm like, if somebody for real needs me, they'll call me. And so if I don't get the phone call, I'm not saying you're not a priority. I'm just saying that whatever you needed in that text might not necessarily be at the top of that list. So I go through the text messages, and I see that my homegirl Jennifer has sent me a message. So I was like, oh, let me catch up with Jennifer. So I sent her a text like, hey, you free? And she responds, hey, give me a couple minutes. I'm on a call. And so when she gets off her call, she FaceTimes me. And I said, girl, I woke up this morning, and it's just in my spirit. I can't explain it. Saying, what would happen if, why don't you give 100%? Basically, that's what I was saying. Let's give 100%. And when I said that, now again, we were FaceTime, she looked at me, and I can't remember if Jennifer said like, shut your face, shut your mouth. She's so funny. She said, no, you be quiet right now. I'm hanging up on you. Click. So I'm cracking up because I'm like, what are you talking about? She calls me back, and she said, girl, listen to me. When you text me earlier and I said I will call you back because I was on a call, she was like on a conference video call, and it was a program that she's doing. It's like a master mentor program. And the person who was over this program said the question that she asked them was, what would happen if you were to give 100%? I said, you shut your mouth now, and I'm hanging up on you. Click. I hung up on her. We were hanging up on each other. Mind blown. I called her back. I said, Jennifer, are you serious? And she said, girl, she said, that is why I hung up on you. She said, now you know how I feel. And I'm like, what are the chances that I would wake up with that on my mind, that Jennifer is the first person that I reach out to. And when I do, she has just gotten off a phone call with somebody asking the question, what would happen if you gave 100%? Y'all, mind blown. So we're like, this is not a coincidence. This is, listen, we need to take action. So we are pumped. I'm like, hold me accountable. I'm like, yo, I'm about to show out. I'm about to show up consistently. I'm going to really put forth all of this effort. And I'll tell you what, the enemy must have been like, oh, something epic is about to happen. But watch me. Let me see if I can try to shake things up a little bit. I'll give you the short version of it. My brother, who is just my heart, oh, Lord have mercy. We're so close. So close. And I mean, he's best listened. He was when my mama had him, she birthed my best friend. We have always been tight. We've never had an arguing, sibling rivalry type thing. Never. We had one argument in our lives. That was when we were young adults. He was a teenager and I was late teens and I was in my early 20s. I don't even remember what that argument was about, but I remember us not talking for like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I can't remember. And then when we finally did talk again, I don't even think we talked about it. I mean, that's just not how we get down. So anyway, he lived here in Charlotte, He was moving to Seattle because he met the love of his life, who I love and adore. And y'all know, for me to say that about my baby brother, she got to be the real deal. She is the real deal. But anyway, Saturday, my parents were here. We were in a cookout for our friends to come over to tell him goodbye because he got a job and he's moving to he was getting ready to move to Seattle. So he lived here in Charlotte, he's getting ready to move to Seattle. Today is Thursday. Today is Thursday, June the 3rd, and today was supposed to be the day that he was supposed to move. Saturday, we were around here laughing, talking, getting food together. He's finishing up, the last little bit of stuff he had because he had already been sending boxes out to Seattle. And we get a phone call. And short story of this is, I don't, to call her sister-in-law feels so impersonal because she's so deep in it. She already feels like my sister. But anyway, we got the call that his fiance had a stroke. Y'all, 29 and healthy, and had a stroke that was caused by her birth control. And it was the scariest. I cannot even describe. It was traumatic. I don't have another way to say it. It was traumatic. 1 minute we were laughing and joking and talking, and the next minute we were literally like on our knees praying, crying, trying to find a flight for my brother to get out there to her. And that was, I think, the toughest part, is that we were so far away that we couldn't just say, hey, let's hop in the car and go. Let me say this though, Kay, that happened Saturday. My girl is home and walking, talking, looking so good. God is so good. He's so good. He's so good. And y'all know I stay crying, but I'm gonna tell you what, the amount of tears that have been shed this week have been, man, it was a lot. So we got shook at the core this week. Again, my brother wasn't even supposed to leave till Thursday. He got on a flight and left Saturday, the quickest flight, is the earliest flight we could find to get him out there. And so now he has officially moved to Seattle. But the way things occurred, y'all, God is good. He's so, 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 so good. And I'll share the rest of the story in the community. And this is not some like shameless plug to get you all to join, but I just don't know how I could talk about it and keep it short. But when I tell you God showed out, y'all, the way he showed out, he absolutely showed out. And I'm just so grateful. There were a couple things that came from this situation, or reminders. One that I already knew for me. Now, family, y'all, family is, sometimes we think blood. Family is the people you trust to be in your circle. Sometimes we think family. So I want you to say the people who you choose to be in your circle. That's some real stuff. family over everything. Like, it's God family. That's where we fall. And for our families came together and prayed like no other. But also, the people in my circle who I was quickly able to call. I called when I could finally, because I was trying to hold myself together for my brother. And I seriously, y'all, the state of mind that I was in when all of this happened, I'm usually one who can be really calm. And for a second I was, but my brain just like couldn't even function to do things. So I had to like call Carlos. He wasn't here. Calmly find within myself a way to tell him what was going on. And thank God he was able to stay calm and say, hey, listen, got the flight, taking care of it. Don't worry about that part. I'm going to do it. And then as I, finally was able to step away, literally stepped outside the house, I called my girl Devin, felt like I could not even breathe. And she had no idea what was going on, but she just felt from my silence on the other side of the phone that she needed to be that safe space for me. And I told her I cannot thank her enough for the words that she said to me, the prayer. Like, she told me at one point, Meek, breathe. Because I think she could tell I was just in that type of space. So she truly talked me back to like a normal breathing rate. And when I got off the phone with her, called Bridget, who's one of the owners of the gym where I train, and I couldn't hardly even tell her what was happening because I was just, y'all, it was a lot. I'm telling you, and if anybody's ever had something like happen like that abruptly, to be in one place 1 minute and to be like on the complete opposite end of the spectrum the next was a lot. And it was, it just wasn't room to process it. But I called her. I couldn't even finish getting through the story. And she didn't even need to finish hearing the rest of the story. She said, Jamaica, you go do whatever it is that you need to do. Do not worry about anything going at the gym. We got to handle. You call when you can and just keep us updated on what's happening, and we're praying. Man, community matters. And I'm so happy to be in a space where I realized that community matters. That was a time where I needed my community, and community can be so many things. I called Kay's sister, Latanya, who is just a godsend to me, because it's 4 of them, 4 siblings, 2 girls, 2 boys, and she's the oldest of the girls. And she has taken care of my brother the way I would take care of him, but she held it down. So like, she is worried about her sister. So I couldn't even imagine. So like, I was so out of it. And I had everybody, I was thinking of everybody, Latanya, because I know what it's like to have like your baby, just a sibling in general, but especially when they're younger than you, your baby sibling, to have something going on with them. I'm thinking about her mom and thinking of that from a mother's perspective. I'm thinking of it from the sibling perspective, and I'm thinking about it from my brother's perspective. It was so much. I was overwhelmed in the craziest way, and I can't even imagine how everybody else is feeling. But even in the midst of that, Latanya was able to keep me updated on everything, talked to one of her brothers who was like, I got him, once we found out what time his flight was, talked about his itinerary, what time he was going to land, and make sure somebody was going to be there to get him. And just the way the family came together, y'all, it was everything. So I was just so grateful for the people I was surrounded by, my family, Kay's family, who is our family. I don't even want to separate it, just the whole family. And then, to be able to call Devin, to be able to call Bridget, even by Tuesday, because it happened Saturday, of course it was off Sunday. Monday was a holiday. Tuesday went into work for the first time. And that was one of the first times where I felt like I can usually put on good face and nobody will know if I have anything going on. But on our Zoom camp, we have a Zoom camp where we train like live during one of the camps. So I was up there training, and it's my homegirl Charmaine, who has also been. So you've seen Devin and Charmaine on here. And so train the camp. And then afterwards, she, she's like, you good? And see, that's why you need community, and that's why you need a circle. Because even when you don't say anything, people will know. I hadn't reached out to Charmaine because honestly, I had to just like check out for the rest of the weekend because again, it was just so much. We had a whole plan, and telling my brother goodbye, like he's moving to the other side, and it wasn't even about that. But by Tuesday, I knew that she was okay, and I was like, thank God, so we were all holding our breath to find out if she was okay. But also, I think Tuesday morning, I just got up and realized that my brother had moved. It wasn't like a visit, which is what he would normally do. Like he is on the other side of the United States, and I'm not going to be able to see him every day like I do. And so when I got to work, I was Charmaine just knew. She knew. And so I'm sitting here on Zoom, so nobody can see me because I have my back turned to where like people can come from the long way into the gym, and I'm crying on the Zoom, and I'm like, it was just the emotion of the whole weekend. And then it really wasn't even until Tuesday that I processed like the Jay had moved. And so it was like first of all, Saturday, we were all just in straight prayer mode. We get the praise report that she is doing good. They were able to remove the blood clot. At one point, she wasn't able to move her left side. And once they took the blood clot out, she was able to move her left side. Y'all, we FaceTimed her. God is good. And she is home, and he is so good. So you went through all those emotions. So I was so excited at that. Then Tuesday hit, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like he is really moved. And again, another wave of emotions. But Charmaine was like, me? She didn't even try to say stop. She was like, you cry if you need to cry. You do whatever you need to do. And I need you to take care of yourself emotionally. And just know I'm going to be FaceTiming you later because I know you have to go and train. And so I was like wiping my face, getting myself together because I literally had to train a camp in like 5 minutes after that. So I'm talking on the phone, and she's, talking me through. And then when I get off the phone, she was sending me a text message to check on me, and she did FaceTime me later. And, everybody who knew has been checking in to see how she was doing. And it wasn't a situation about me, but I'm saying I appreciated that those close, people were checking. And so like even me and Latanya have been texting each other. You good? You good? Because that stuff is important. I don't think not everybody values that enough. And that's something that I want to be mindful about. And I want to put forth a conscious effort to check on people close to me and make sure people are good, because that ties into another thing. You see people and they're smiling and you have no idea what's going on. And I was one of those people Saturday. I was one of those people Sunday. I was out at the post office because I was sending off some more stuff for my brother. And it was the same lady that he and I had been going out there. We saw every time we went. She was like, oh, you back again? And I'm, talking to her and, just thinking the whole time she had no idea, like everything that was going on behind the smile. So it was also a reminder, be good to other people because you really don't know what other people have going on. I said all that to say, it shook me. And I felt like, I was like, the enemy knew. And let me tell you this. It wasn't just me. Like a lot of people got affected by this. Now, Kay, first and foremost, so I'm not going to even act like what I felt is what she went through. So that's not it. But when I did talk to her brother, one of her brothers, he said, this marriage is about to be epic. And I think, no, and the enemy knows that, and that's why he's coming. But I just, hope he gets ready because it's about to go down. And I just feel like that in general. So normally when things like that occur, I will shut down, and would normally go into this mode of like people pleasing, because it shakes you so hard to the core that you're then like, whoa, like, let me keep everybody super, super close. What do you need? I will do it. What do you need? I will do it. What do you need? I will do it. I'm in a different space now. And that's what this showed me. One, I have learned to acknowledge my feelings and not try to suppress them. I was usually, a solution girl. Oh, this happened. What's the solution? Let's go. Oh, this happened. What's the solution? Let's fix it. And this time I didn't do that. I felt every single emotion that went through my body, and I processed every single emotion that went through my body. And I also talked about it out loud. I was able to talk to Charmaine. I was able to talk to Devin. I was able to talk to Allie. I talked to her about it, and she was like, "Yo, you just need to go shut down for a little bit." Talk to Bridget. I openly discussed how I was feeling. If I felt like crying, I cried. If I wanted to be angry, I was angry. I felt it, and then asked myself, "Now, how do you want to move forward?" That's huge. It's huge. And so that's growth. Also, my faith is in a different place now. So even in the midst of all of that, I'm telling you, the prayers that we were able to pray was straight leaning on that faith. We leaned on that hard. And so I just was able to see, like, I'm in a different space, but also I let other people in. And if ever there was a time I needed community, I needed it then. Once before, when I was younger, I went through a really tough transition time, and I went through all of that by myself because that's just what I had. That was just how I functioned, and I thought that was a good thing. I thought that was strength, not to share, to go through things in silence and go through things solo. And I didn't do that this time. And I'm telling you, community matters. So I'm not trying to use that as like, the plug for you to come and join the community. What I want to say though is, if you are in a space where you've been wanting to do something and you haven't been pursuing it, and you get excited about it and you have the motivation for a second, but then you fall off and you're like, I can't do it. You probably need a community. And I'm gonna tell you what, not only do you need a community, you need a community of like-minded people. And that doesn't mean people who are just alike, just people who are kind of, have similar goals or a similar thought process, so to say. So like when all this stuff was going on, I had to be surrounded with people who have strong faith. I know I needed prayer warriors. So that community at that time absolutely mattered. I didn't need to talk to somebody who didn't have faith, who wasn't in that space. Now that's not saying like I judge people for that. I love everybody. This is so the community I've created, that's for everybody. I just want people to know where I stand. As long as you understand where I stand, then we're good. But it's the same thing when you are trying to build something, or you're working towards something, you're trying to evolve into the person who you really feel like you've been called to be. Everybody won't understand that because everybody's not in that space. And so if you're talking about growing, learning, evolving, doing, and you're sharing that with somebody who, that's not their thing, they may not understand. It doesn't mean that they support you. It just means they don't understand what it is that you're trying to do. And so I want you to have a safe space to come and share with people who do understand what you're trying to do. I'm gonna tell you, I almost got shook, not only from the week that shook me up, but also those limiting beliefs came back in, and I was like, what if I open this community and nobody joins? And last week I said it with my chest, whether it's one person or 100 people, it's gonna be open. And then I thought, what if nobody joins? Okay. And you know what? Even if I had faith, not what if, even if nobody joins, or even if there's only a couple people in there, we're gonna have ourselves a good time. We're gonna support each other, and we're gonna have that safe space where we can share what it is that we're working towards and get support from other people. And then also, I want to share some of the stuff that I'm doing and give, like, y'all don't know what it's gonna look like. Just come join the community, and that's what it's about. Come as you are, and just have a safe space to share you. Okay. So look, the link is in the show notes for the podcast. So if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, or another podcasting app, you can look in the show notes. It'll be there. It will also be in the link that is in my Instagram profile. Or you can go to Facebook and you can simply search Looking for My Fit Community with Meek Rich. When I created it, it said I had to do, it wouldn't let me separate it. So if you're looking for it, it's Looking for My Fit Community with Meek Rich. And Meek Rich is one word, MEKRICH. I'm super excited, y'all. Super, 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 super excited. I hope that you'll join. I hope that you'll join, and I hope that we will get the opportunity to get to know each other better, and that we'll get the opportunity to grow together. Let's do this thing, y'all. Okay, I love you guys. Oh, y'all know I got to pull this theme song in one more time. So go ahead and get into it, y'all. All right, love you guys. Bye. Y'all, I am so excited about this community, and I really hope that you'll decide to join. You can join by clicking the link in the show notes, clicking the link in my Instagram profile, or simply by going to Facebook and searching Looking for My Fit Community with Meek Rich. Hope to see you there.